beautiful people. But if you are watching for the first time, kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, all notifications, leave a comment, click the like button, and also share this video with others.
Okay, good morning. Okay, we saw what recently transpired in APC stakeholders meeting there in the southeast, where the northeast APC vice chairman, who is named Mustafa Saliu, purposely ignored Shettima among the people that he is likely to drop Shettima for 2027, and the Fulanis are so upset with this. They say Tinubu must not dare this, that if he tries this, Tinubu should forget about 2027. What's your take as regards this?
Yes, I think that's a very clear signal to Aso Rock come 2027 and the decision of the North, to take a stand. And remember, the North have not come out openly to declare their stand, whether they are going for Bola Ahmed Tinubu or not. But from what we are seeing, for Muhammad Buhari to leave Daura and come back to Kaduna, and we can see Malami, all the aides of within Buhari's, caucus as at that time, attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu, means that ab initio Buhari never wanted Tinubu to be president, but it was the northern APC governors as at that time, that knelt down to Buhari to allow Tinubu to fly, But from what we are getting now, from the reaction we are getting now, the North is regretting deeply why they even have the Yorubalization agenda now occupying Aso Rock, totally. The southern part of the country, the southwest, them too, have been very, very dangerous with Nigerian southern politics, because of the seemingly alliance between the northerners, the Fulanis, and the Yorubas against the Igbos. It is going to backfire, and when it backfire, the center will not hold. The fight that they are going to experience is going to be for the rest of their life, and don't be surprised if that is going to start with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Igbo man has been sidelined for 64 or 54 years now without Igbo man, without Igbo presidency. And the Yorubas are looking at it from the angle, they sabotage the Biafran process, they sabotage the southern process, they sabotage the so-called middle belt, they created the so-called Niger Delta, all those kind of a thing, Gowon created the unitary system that saw all the resources centered at one place, that made even the Niger Delta people forget that the Igbo man is their brother. But that does not take anything completely from the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation has been without presidency for 65 years and still become the richest, the most recognized globally. You cannot compare the number of billionaires, for instance, in Anambra with the number of billionaires in Lagos. The difference is clear, and that is an Igbo man for you. So you can see that this relationship you are seeing, this romance you are seeing now, the Bible says, whatever goes up must come down, and the center cannot hold. It cannot continue to hold. It gets to a point, they are sending a direct signal because the North are already seeing Yoruba, the Southwest, as betrayers, and they betrayed them, and this is not what they agreed, and the kind of politics you use Yoruba people, but they forgot that the North has been in power for years. Now, they don't want to see this kind of thing happen, given the abysmal failure of Southern President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has disappointed the South. People are even saying that the Northern presidency is even better than the Southern presidency, But they say that the southern part of the country is more sophisticated, learned than the North. How come we became a failure? So Tinubu has become embarrassment to the Southerners completely. I can tell you that if there's going to be a major coalition that is going to remove him from office, I want Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed completely for bringing disgrace to the Southern presidency, for that matter. And of course, this is going to create a major division between the years of Yoruba Northern Alliance. What you saw that took place in Gombe is not ordinary. The North has disengaged themselves from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The North, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to break up the North, but the North is trying to, disengage themselves, and possibly giraffing to see how they are going to get Igbo people alliance. But let's not see how this is going to work, definitely. But I think it's a very, very dangerous game to play. And I think now Tinubu might be reading the handwriting on the wall that if care is not taken, but it will be difficult for another Fulani to take over power. If a Fulani man takes over power from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it means the continuation of the political conquest. Tinubu too is part of the conquest. Tinubu also was helped them to bring the conquest we are suffering today. So that is why he feels very reluctant to react to the killing of over 200 million people, or even to visit the site. You can see mass exodus of Benue people to Enugu now, because they feel that Biafran land is the only place they can be seen. So that's the picture of what transpired in Gombe. And I keep on saying that Tinubu is already eyeing Dogara, to represent Shettima. And I don't know the kind of problem they have with Shettima, but I think, Shettima is trying to align with the Fulani factor against, the Tinubu factor. That's what we are seeing now. And it has been discovered by intelligence that Shettima, whom is very, unpredictable, is working with Fulanis underground. So and with that information now, Tinubu felt threatened that maybe the vice president is not in line with him, and the only option that was put on the table was for Shettima to go. And somebody that brought that idea was Gatuje. Of course, Gatuje himself was chased out, beaten, and thrown away from the venue yesterday. And it was a very big surprise. It was a very big dent. There is a signal that the North are ready to vomit Tinubu completely.
But some are alluding this fact of what happened yesterday, the violent clash that happened yesterday. They said, it was because Tinubu has failed in terms of suppressing the Biafran agitation and the Biafran sovereignty. They said, Tinubu, when Buhari was there, we saw what Buhari did to Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, trying to, bully them, to stop this agitation and, trying to balkanize or, divide Nigeria. But from Tinubu's stance, they say that it's too soft. And now it seems as if they are regretting because the pressure, now we saw what happened yesterday in Germany, the new headquarters of the IPOB there in Germany, even recently, the embassy in the US, and they are kind of pressure that any moment from now, the division of Nigeria might be at hand. Do you not think this is why they know that they might want to drop Tinubu 2027?
Yes, because a lot of things has been happening, but it's not the Tinubu's making it. It's the resilient spirit of the Biafrans, IPOB members all over the world. That's why you see them launching the first EU headquarters of IPOB command. What you see there is command. It's not just ordinary headquarters. It's an EU headquarters, but it's a command. Where we are going to do all the final, advanced diplomatic activities, engage in various treaties and ties. That's where it's going to happen for the European. We are having another one on the Asian side, but don't give you, an insight. And back to what surprises many. This is why I'm telling you that what happened to Jonathan, Tinubu hand was involved in the insecurity that unsettled Jonathan. And now, the Northerners are bringing it to him now. Let him come out and boldly and say, yes, he didn't know what happened to Jonathan. Then we'll know what to do. So, Tinubu is finding it very difficult because it is one of the things he signed that Nnamdi Kanu, anything that has to do with the Biafra must be stopped. Unfortunately, they didn't know that Biafra was a seed.
A seed.
And that is the clear picture now. They didn't know that those things you are seeing as scraps in 1967 has become machines. The son of the sun have risen. That is the picture. So they didn't calculate it from that angle. So they had now handed over the mantle, hoping that under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nnamdi Kanu will be killed, Nnamdi Kanu will be stopped, even though they have moved him to ADSS. These are the pressure that is coming from the Fulanis. This guy is winning the battle. We don't want to watch it again. We don't want to see it again. Move him to the DSS, where we will not have direct media coverage, where everything will be done in secret. But unfortunately for them, the supersonic intelligence of IPOB has unraveled the mystery behind why Martin Kano has already been moved to jail. So Tinubu is trying to recover, from that consciousness of losing grip and seeing, Biafran embassy in America, seeing another command, European command in Germany. Wow, what are you doing there? Get out! That's what happened in government. That's why Tinubu was being chased out completely, and I've been told that for the fact you could not stop Biafra, that means you do not want the conquest to continue. You do not want the Fulanis to survive in Nigeria. You must go. Then even at that, if Tinubu goes, what will become? Because the man is looking at it as this thing becomes too much. I will break the country. Nobody knows what is going to happen. Restructuring, go back to Aburi, Then who is more intelligent in Nigeria? Which tribe now is more intelligent? This is what Ojukwu saw. This is what Martin Kano saw. Are they not ashamed of themselves? Can they come out now and be, which school did you go? You cannot be able to talk about what is happening tomorrow. He saw Martin Kano. He's being celebrated now. He saw what Samaniba is doing. He's being celebrated now. He saw what happened in Benue, 200 people massacred. Tinubu was not able to stand up because he was part of the caliphate. He was part of the agenda. He was thoroughly briefed before Jonathan was removed from power. They were started the campaign, the chip of gears, and the bombing of the United Nations. Now, the North said it's better to lose Yorubas completely and align with the people that also crude oil. That is the game. That's what I'm saying now. But unfortunately for them, they don't know how to approach the Biafran agenda with P2B on the other political side of the story. That's a major challenge now. But if it is, of course, they know that they don't have, they're like the Sultan of Sokoto will always say, we don't have problem with the Yorubas, our problem at Igbos. Because he is the supreme Muslim leader. Supreme Islamic Council is the head of the Supreme Islamic Council that control both the Yorubas and the Southwest. So the alliance is already there by religion. And you know that the North does not know how to separate religion from politics. So the sophistication of trying to rediscover an Igbo man is a wrong signal. It's something they cannot comprehend. Then they are said, okay, this guy that is instigating this thing, move him from one place to another. Make sure that everything, but unfortunately, the eyes of the world is on Martin Kano. You see, the victory of Biafra is the restoration of humanity in Africa.
But lastly, do you think that Tinubu, I know you've talked about it, but do you think that Tinubu will ever, because it's as if, for what we are getting, it's as if Shettima is working for this coalition, the Northern, the Atiku Erufai call it underground. Do you think that Tinubu want to trust him, to work with him for 2027?
It's already late, because Shettima would have stolen some information, from Bola on the internet, and that he's going to use now against him, and that's where Tinubu is angry. Those kind of secret information. You understand? Shettima has stolen it now, and he went and presented it to these people.
Atiku and
that's where the problem is. So Tinubu cannot be saved. Nothing is going to save him. That's the problem, And I say it now, you cannot trust Shettima. And the funniest thing about this is that the governor of Borno State said, Tinubu, your own is finished. Zulum, forget about anything. As the Yorubas are they going to run to the Igbos now to impress them because they are follow Southerners after Tinubu has betrayed an Igbo man opportunity to become Nigerian president in 2023. The Igbos are watching, and the Biafran consciousness is already there. We cannot accept political conquest. Fulanis are the one in charge of the crude oil, in charge of the oil well, in charge of everything. Somebody is boasting that I cannot risk anything because of 22. Instead, Nigeria will divide. What happened to 22 oil well? And that is why what they are using to impose governors in the southern eastern part of the country. Name them Uzodinma, name them Soludo, name them Odizokalo, and these people are always singing their praises. Why the Igbo farmers, the Igbo DJs, our mothers are dying in their respective farms. We cannot accept that. Nobody will accept that. Nobody will accept that. We cannot accept that. And that is why you are seeing the speed at which Biafra is spreading all over Europe. I don't know why Oduduwa died all of a sudden. We don't hear about it. I see these people, they should be careful. No, Igbo man cannot be deceived. He can deceive the political class we are seeing now, the likes of Ojo Sokalo and the rest of them, help us deceive them. But you see, these present IPOB members, you cannot deceive them. We have studied Nigeria for 64 years, and we have come to a conclusion that Nigeria does not need Igbo man. Igbo man does not need Nigeria. It is if it is at all, it is Nigeria that needs the Igbo people. Now they have allow us to compete with Japan, compete with China, compete with Malaysia, compete with Singapore, compete with the United States of America, compete with UK, compete. Let us see, how an African consciousness would not rise. What happened to Burkina Faso? What are we seeing in other countries that have jettisoned some of this? But still, Nigeria held onto it just because of one simple tribe. Nigeria is dying every day because of Igbo man. They don't want Igbo man to rise. That is it. And they will die. Nigeria will die. That's two ways. No, there is nothing that will save Nigeria. Look at Dentuma and go on now. Are they not running up and down? Bros, you killed a pregnant Igbo woman in the north. You opened his belly and brought out, children, and you slaughtered them in the north. Heaven, we are watching you. No provocation. Now, when I want to tell us, say, no people kill. Bros, Nigeria go see 99. There's no two ways about it, and nothing will stop. Even the coalition gangs up and give to be presidency at the end of the day. It does not stop the restoration.
Okay. Okay. But we've seen that Tinubu has ordered the service chief, to go after these bandits in Benue State, and he's looking at it. He said they should implement what they agreed on by balkanizing, going to the forest, destroy anything, get hold of this bandit, because it has become a global disgrace. We even saw the Pope come out to talk about this recent killing in Benue State. What is your take as regards?
When Buhari came into power, they say he's a military general. He will fly all over the northeast, fly everywhere across Nigeria, go to Nigeria, go beyond the boundaries, and do what magic. At the end of the day, they handed over Nigerian presidency to the patron of Boko Haram. And these are the people that brought that government of Buhari. Tinubu was one of them. Because at the time, Tinubu was claiming, I'm the one that made you president. Abi, you're the one that brought them. Okay, continue now. As simple as that. Continue, let us see. Continue. Abi, you're the one that brought Boko Haram and make him president. Continue, you face it now. That's the picture of the whole thing. So, peradventure it happens and it takes another dimension, then it will become very clear that it is time for him to question himself, deep inside his heart, and ask himself, what an injustice to the Igbo people. They cannot succeed. Now I'm not saying that Igbo man is God, though. Igbo man is not God, though. The military has collapsed, the police has collapsed because the Igbo people have rejected the military, have rejected the police. We are the salt of this country. With that all, Nigeria has no taste. It's a natural thing, whether you accept it or not. With that all, bros, it's not boasting. We have to accept reality and we have to accept who we are. Bros, without Igbo presidency, without crude oil, having access to crude oil wealth, the Igbo man has been without all this government infrastructure, nothing, political intimidation, marginalization, and still they rise. Imagine where such people will have a political power. Imagine what will happen. The Igbo man struggles 24 hours to survive. And these guys, they are fat on the resources because they succeeded in creating enmity in the middle, in the Niger Delta. And those ones are rejoicing. I'm looking at them. They are rejoicing. Yes, Tombolo, well, that is for him. You know, they are rejoicing because of the evil seed that was planted in them. And you can see how the whole thing is working.
Session, whatever, you want to keep Nnamdi Kanu there and go to whatever you are having with the North, that is your business. But we know, actually, that to an extent, some prominent international community organizations have told Nigeria their stand. And they are watching to see what is going to happen at the end of the day. The Indian government has sent delegates already. You know, the Canadian government has sent delegates already. The Israeli government has sent delegates already. The American government has sent delegates already. And you think those delegates, it does not matter anything to Nigeria. It does not make any sense. It's just ordinary delegates. You don't know that, you know, they are counting it for Nigeria. That one day, they will open book for Nigeria. And will tell you, so and so time, these are the steps we have taken, but you ignored us. But unfortunately, a certain president trying to be part